around the world to speak to. Iraq is certainly a dramatic example. Various others, what's happening in Iran with the Baha'i community, what's happening in other countries with various
But there's no comparison
issues.
in terms of people being killed. We have killed more than 2-3 million people now. We've displaced 1/4 the population. And we are the occupiers, all right? When self is the occupier, self is the aggressor, then I think responsibility increased by that much, does it not? Because when it's the other party doing something wrong, it is always easy to condemn the other party and to rebuke them and to ask for redress and ask for, compensation and everything else. When self is the one doing it, it's precisely the moment that the one's own spiritual mettle is tested, is it not?
It's true, and I think we probably all lived through the disgust, at least I did, the nausea of when our country, this country, known for the ideals of democracy, decided it was going to unleash a shock and awe campaign in Iraq. What? Could that be? This country that we hold who has high principles of how to treat other people equitably, that didn't seem at all right. So I felt that definitely we shared as a community that outrage. I think too, to be human, to be in this place at this time, what do you do with that outrage in a constructive way is really keeps being the challenge of our global community, where different voices from different perspectives want to be heard and want to come together. So I would say we're still trying very diligently to find a common voice of moral outrage, and at the same time be a safe place where people of different strong opinions, and we had other members of our board who thought the United States had good reason and was justified. So we weren't all just swung one way or the other. And that's life. That's kind of the way it is. So we struggle, especially at these acute times. But I have to say that while those are the dramatic moments, the daily experiences of people on the ground who make small steps towards resolving some moral outrages that perhaps don't make the news, but who come together to jointly celebrate ceremonies, memorials, services from different faith traditions where marriages are blessed instead of the couple being dismissed from the community.
I'm practically out of time. Let me ask both of you a question and then conclude. Did your organization take a stand at the mistreatment of Professor Henry Scates Jr.?
No, we didn't take a stand on that issue.
Or any reflection, any kind of insight? Because that has exemplified a major crisis in this country, in race relations, is not. A man who is he was designated by the New York Times as America's leading intellectual, not America's leading black intellectual, America's leading intellectual, bar none. And yet, just for entering his own house, by forcing the door open, he is arrested, fingerprinted and photographed, mistreated and humiliated. So that must have some commentary of where we have arrived, even when Obama has become the president of this nation. Did you do a reflection on that question?
Again, I think it goes to being willing to face the problems and not, because right before that we were saying, oh, America's racial problems have changed, right? The whole landscape has changed, but that was shown to be not true. So we need to realize that and wake up to that truth and continue, I think, trying to change things for the better.
I thank you both.
Thank you.
This is one of the series of programs we have done on interfaith dialogue. The more I speak with my learned colleagues, esteemed guests, the more I become convinced of the fundamental notion that in any situation of conflict which involves ethical and moral considerations, one must always be willing to do a dual, simultaneous, inter-effective critique of the self and the other, knowing fully well what is self may become part of the other tomorrow and what other may become part of the self today, but that has to be continued, and one must be careful and consistent in one's deliberations. And as one favors one's own in times of injustice, one is only inviting more injustice down the road. Thank you, and we'll continue the discussion in my later forums. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Saeed.